All right, guys. Today I got a video. It's pretty crazy, so just sit back, relax, enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, America? Iran says that they will assassinate Donald Trump. So the Israeli government has revealed a plot by Iran to assassinate Donald Trump, or at least try to find a way to get at Donald Trump in the near future. Now, they've been wanting to come after Donald Trump since he took out Soleimani with an airstrike. But now it looks like the Iranian government is getting absolutely serious about coming after Donald Trump, even trying to threaten him while he was on a trip in Turkey recently. But I have a prediction. I bet you won't fucking do that. I have a prediction. I bet you won't come within 500 miles of Donald Trump. And I have a feeling if you try any of that assassination bullshit, your people that you send are going to end up full of Swiss cheese holes. I also have a feeling that your rhetoric against Donald Trump is probably going to make him attack Iran even harder and will do nothing but expand his resolve to destroy you. So more than likely, it'll probably be a bad idea to come after Donald Trump here on American soil because one, you'll fail. Two, your people will end up in a fucking box somewhere if you're lucky. And three, it'll prompt retaliatory attacks against Iran the world has never fucking seen. I can promise you, if you come after our fucking president, you'll have no idea the pain that you will inflict on yourself. So my message to Iran, you're not coming within 500 miles of my president. I can guarantee you that.
Boy, he seemed pretty serious about that shit. I think he took that personal.
Are you guys ready to see how dark the industry really gets? And further, I'm going to prove to you in this video that Britney Spears actually has multiple personality disorder. And not just that, but that it's actually manifesting physically to show physical traits and not just other things. And there's also very weird occurrences in the industry with multiple personality disorder. So first, I want you to pay special attention to her voice and nothing else.
But they did my lips.
Am I the only person here who does not remember Britney Spears from the 2000s having a British or a kind of New England type accent? Well, guess what? Not just is it new, it's a few months new.
I guess I should just go get nails. I can do it. I swear to God. I don't.
So this video right here was just a few weeks or if not a few months difference, and you can already see a night and day difference. This was closer to her voice that we all knew till right now it's all of a sudden New England. And this whole British or New England personality that she has, you can see the physical manifestation in her actual teeth. Now, this is actually a never-ending story. Every childhood star or teenage star, etc., they all go through something horrifying in the industry and randomly change. And I know you remember this video where Ariana Grande went to the Brighter Days clinic and had to get the classic memory erasure.
They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me.
It does seem like the industry can get very, very dark, but who really knows why? And I want to ask you, look at this picture right here. How many different personalities do you see? The eyes are the windows to the soul. And this right beside me appears to be a new tattoo that she got. I cannot confirm, but something is very off by this tattoo. I see the pattern of a snake, but also it looks like something not a tattoo.
I agree. The eyes are the window to the soul. You can tell a lot by somebody's eyes. They'll speak by themselves.
These people are not hiding this anymore. They're starting a dangerous trend, and I hope y'all notice. Black women and black men are being targeted. Simple and plain. And they can't hide this shit anymore. Look at this shit. Look at this video right here. This shit is getting out of line.
Listen to this. Why don't you step out of the car?
No. What am I
This shit is getting out of line.
I don't need a reason to ask you to step out.
You said he's scared of me, Mom.
That's not what I said.
Look.
He just said he's scared of me.
Come on now. And then was dragged out the car. This shit ain't right. Listen to this girl scream. And then they had the nerve to do some other wicked shit. Look at this wicked shit they did right here. This girl was followed and targeted by the state troopers. Mind you, just imagine what she was going through. People are behind you, following you. She's a new driver. Never had trouble with the law before. Never had interactions with the law before. Stop her. They break her window and drag her out the car. And then for April Fools, they basically sent her a card in the mail clowning her. And this all took place in the great city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This shit ain't good, man.
Well, with only seeing that part of the video, it makes you wonder what else went on. Is it another bait to where try to get people fired up? Because where's the rest of the fucking video? But I don't know. I could be wrong.
That used to be illegal. Margarine. In the late 1800s, several U.S. states banned or heavily restricted margarine to protect the dairy industry. Some places even made it illegal to sell yellow-colored margarine because it looked too much like butter. Black currants. For decades, growing black currants was banned in many parts of the United States because the plants could spread a fungus that threatened white pine forests. The federal ban was lifted in 1966, but some states kept restrictions even longer. Raw milk. In many parts of the United States today, selling raw milk across state lines is illegal because of concerns about harmful bacteria. Some states allow limited sales, while others ban them almost completely. Potatoes. When potatoes first arrived in France, people thought they caused diseases like leprosy. In 1748, the French government banned them from being grown for human food in some areas. The ban was lifted after scientists proved potatoes were safe and nutritious. If you have the chance to ban one food, what would you choose?
I mean, I understand the raw milk shit. It would be, you know what I mean? You get contaminated milk. But the rest of that shit, I don't get.
What in the world is going on with children's cartoons today? And why do I say that? Because a mother was watching Paw Patrol with her children when she noticed something in one of the scenes that did not seem appropriate at all. Have a look at this video for yourself.
If you think I'm being overly sensitive, but this scene in Paw Patrol made me super uncomfortable when I was watching with my daughter. Uh-oh. Sorry, you're here. Okay, so that's like their butt prints and the wet concrete. This is the girl, and this is the boys. Like, is that necessary for a kid's show?
I paused it so you can take a look at it for yourself to see what she's talking about. So then you can come to an agreement of your own, whether or not this is appropriate for a children's show. Have another look at it for yourself.
Sorry, you're here. Okay, so that's like their butt prints and the wet concrete. This is the girl, and this is the boys.
So I guess my question to you is, do the creators of Paw Patrol have some explaining to do? And is this appropriate for children? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Facts, Part 1006. In 2012, an Icelandic TV station accidentally aired an episode of the Teletubbies with subtitles from HBO's The Sopranos, leaving children watching cheerful characters while captions referenced murder, dead dogs, drugs, and impotence. The bizarre mix-up was spotted by an adult viewer who photographed the screen before the broadcast ended. Just months later, the channel shut down completely and its archives were destroyed, meaning the original footage is believed to have disappeared forever. Today, only a few blurry photos remain as evidence that the surreal broadcast ever happened. Just 7 days after being released from prison, Aaron Tucker had less than $2 to his name and was on his way to a life-changing job interview when he watched a car flip over and begin filling with smoke. Knowing the bus would leave without him and he'd miss the interview, he ran off anyway, pulled the badly injured 61-year-old driver from the wreck moments before it caught fire, and used his own dress shirt to stop the man's bleeding. Tucker missed the interview but saved the stranger's life, and after his story went viral, donations topped $50,000 within days, and employers lined up to offer him a second chance.
When the communications grid fails, it isn't a random blackout. It's the frequency fracture, the deliberate shattering of a false reality. The second the internet and cell towers go dark, you'll feel a sudden drop in pressure, a distinct physical pop in the air. In that newfound silence, the truth is exposed. Our world has been hijacked by a false 3D projection, a dense construct known as the parasitic overlay. But this rigid scaffolding won't just dissolve on its own. It requires an active force. Your stabilized high-frequency vibration acts as a destructive resonance that physically shatters the artificial grid. As the broadcast drops, you'll see the simulated background populations visibly flicker and malfunction. Ignore the chaos. Hold your ground like a calm lighthouse. Your steady frequency ensures the overlay completely dissolves. When your screens finally go black, it isn't the end. It's the exact moment you clear the path for true contact, connecting the dots and activating the 21st memory.
I can only imagine how crazy it'd fucking be in this world if the power grid did shut down. I mean, look what goes on when there's riots and shit. Just imagine that people knew there was no electricity for certain shit, no help from 911. Yeah, it'd be fucked.
Oh, we're flying through this. The next, oh, we have a mask here. Oh, okay, it's taped to something. What the hell? Okay, eyes. Some little cloth here. It's like a, oh my God. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's messed up. What is this? What is this? What is that? Is that a koala? Where's my knife? Oh, come on. Oh, okay, here we go. What is this? Ray-Bans. We got a Ray-Ban case over here. I'll see if there's glasses inside there in just a second. But what the is this? That's a koala, right? I guess this is going to be going to my right. That's kind of what the mask looked like. I mean, that's the best I could do. And inside here, we have glasses. How do you tell if these are actual Ray-Bans? Oh, they're Ray-Bans. Oh my God, they're actually Ray-Bans. Like, look, that's a symbol. That's what they look like. I'm going to put these on. Wow. Wow, it's a good fit. It's a pretty nice fit. You know what's crazy? I'm not even lying. I can't even see my monitor right now. What the hell does that mean? Monitor? No monitor. Now rate these on a scale of 1 to 10. 1, I don't look fresh. And 10, I look super fresh. That fly is going to be the death of me. Can you guys see that on the camera? The next item that I'm going to pull out of the mystery box. I know this character. I know this cartoon character. What does that say? Arizona with a smiley face. Oh, you just turned them. Bet. Oh my God, what the? There's money in here. What the hell is this? There's Asian wording on there. I don't know. I don't want to, but this is what it looks like. Somebody tell me in the comment section. And there is also this 500.
8 crazy facts about your body you never knew. The last one will blow your mind. Number 1, your stomach gets a completely new lining every 3 to 5 days because stomach acid is so strong it would dissolve the stomach itself without constant regeneration. Number 2, you produce enough saliva in your lifetime to fill 2 swimming pools, and it contains natural painkillers stronger than some medications. Number 3, your brain uses 20% of your body's total energy, despite being only 2% of your weight, consuming power like a 20-watt light bulb. Number 4, you shed about 8 pounds of dead skin cells every year, and most of the dust in your house is actually your own skin. Number 5, your heart pumps over 2,000 gallons of blood daily with enough pressure to squirt blood 30 feet across a room. Number 6, you have exactly the same number of neck vertebrae as a giraffe, 7 bones, but theirs are just much longer. Number 7, your eyes can distinguish between 10 million different colors, and your pupils automatically dilate when you look at someone you're attracted to. Before I say the last one, make sure to hit that follow button to support the channel. Number 8, you're actually about an inch taller in the morning than at night because gravity compresses your spine throughout the entire day.
Well, them was some pretty interesting facts. Which one stood out to you guys? One that stood out to me for some reason is the fact that we have that much saliva in our lifetime and it contains painkiller. I've never heard of that, ever. But go ahead and leave it in the comments what you think.
No, George. Okay. Oh. Put up. Run.
Oh, who's that? Oh, damn. My motherfucking shoe. Hold on. Wait. Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
I got you a plant food. Yours. Let's put it in your trunk. Come on.
Excuse me, sir. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm married. Pull me out. Pull me out. I'm stuck. God.
For taking control.
Proud of me for taking control.
I'm proud of you for taking control of your food.
I feel like my mom always says eat my greens. Man's drunk as fuck.
Do you want to go to Taco Bell? No, we're not going to Taco Bell. Thumbs up. Gemma! Ow!
I have liquor in my system now, so I can blame the alcohol for my actions.
Make it full. What?
I've had my days looking like that many times. What about you guys?
Heat waves, stronger floods, more powerful storms, and now a rare earthquake in Michigan. One thing for certain, our Earth is not as predictable as it used to be. Our environment is very unpredictable, and that causes many people to be dysregulated. Nature doesn't reward the strongest. Nature rewards the most regulated. And regulation is another word for adaptable. Nature rewards those who can adapt to changes in the environment. So this is why we talk so much about heart, brain, coherence, vagus nerve tone, and staying regulated. These are not just wellness trends. These are the operating system that will get you through what's coming to the planet.
I didn't know Michigan had no earthquake. I live in Indiana. I never heard anything about it. But I don't watch regular news either.
Alex, ¿quieres una? Ay, güey, cabrón, a ver.
¿Qué soy?
Okay. Nothing unusual about it.
这个人没有腿的呢，这个你怎么这样呢？呀。
There's an owl in the house. And I turned around and I said, oh my God, where'd that come from?
That's an obstacle conclusion.
What the hell? What is that, Mom?
What?
Ma, you see this?
No. Holy shit.
What
What
is-
the hell is that?
What is
Once restrained and dragged to a medical bay, the survivors proved immune to heavy sedatives. During an emergency procedure to replace his missing organs, one subject fought so violently against the restraints that he tore his own muscles. The doctors pumped him full of enough morphine to sedate a massive animal, yet he continued to struggle until his heart stopped beating. Even in death, his body flailed as he screamed the word more until his vocal cords finally gave out. A second man, who had his internal organs ruptured, was operated on entirely without painkillers. He didn't scream in agony. Instead, he simply laughed hysterically on the operating table, his eyes locked onto the surgeons. A third, unable to speak, scrawled a terrifying message to a nurse on a notepad. Keep cutting. The remaining remaining survivors continually begged to be placed back in the chamber. They insisted they needed the gas to stay awake. In a desperate bid to salvage the research, a commanding officer ordered the subjects returned to the sealed room, accompanied by 3 armed researchers. Almost immediately upon reconnection to the EEG monitors, the prisoners' brainwaves began flatlining and reviving in erratic, impossible patterns. Before the heavy door could be sealed, one researcher finally broke. Terrified of what he had created, he drew his weapon, shot his commanding officer, and pointed the barrel at the last surviving prisoner. "What are you?" he demanded. The mangled subject offered a horrifying smile and replied, "We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be free at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night." The researcher pulled the trigger. The subject muttered his final words, "So nearly free," and died. When this story circulated online, the internet ran with the obvious reading. Science had gone too far. The military-industrial complex had birthed a nightmare. The tale became an absolute sensation, shared by millions as a verified, suppressed historical atrocity. It was debated on forums, analyzed in videos, and cited as proof of humanity's hidden darkness. But that reading ignores one vital detail. The entire story is a complete fabrication. No airborne stimulant exists that can keep a human awake for 15 days straight. The human body cannot survive the removal of its vital organs without immediate hypovolemic shock and death, let alone fight off trained soldiers. The iconic, terrifying photograph often attached to the experiment is not a mangled Russian prisoner. It is a picture of a plastic Halloween animatronic named Spasm. The narrative did not originate from declassified Soviet files. It was written by an anonymous user named Orange Soda and posted to a forum on August 10th, 2010. Yet the killer wasn't the gas. It was the disappearance of our psychological safety net. People believed the Russian sleep experiment because it tapped into a very real primal anxiety. During World War II and the Cold War, Allied and Axis forces alike heavily distributed amphetamines like Pervitin for the Germans and Benzedrine for the Americans to keep soldiers awake and fighting. Real military sleep deprivation studies do exist, pushing troops to their cognitive breaking points. We inherently know that chronic sleep loss ruins the mind. The Pentagon has documented that after prolonged periods without rest, soldiers become practically useless, plagued by hallucinations and poor judgment. There are even rare, terrifying genetic conditions like fatal familial insomnia, where the brain simply loses the ability to sleep, eventually leading to death. The author of the internet legend took a familiar intuitive fear, the decay of the exhausted mind, and exaggerated it just enough to bypass our critical thinking. The horror wasn't the laboratory setting. It was the idea that our sanity is simply a fragile layer resting on top of a dormant animalistic monster, and that sleep is the only cage keeping that monster contained. The story of the Russian sleep experiment is entirely fictional, but the reason it went viral, the reason it still terrifies millions, is entirely real. We believed it because deep down we know exactly what happens when the mind is denied the rest it needs. The subjects never existed, but the fear still does.
Yeah, 100%. Now, if you go without sleep for a couple of days, you'll start damn near tripping, like you're on some hallucinogens or something. I got them backwards. Here's the first part.
5 men sat inside a sealed room. They had food, water, a toilet, and books. Researchers monitored them through cameras. Scientists listened through microphones. Every variable was controlled. Nothing had been left to chance. By day 15, one of them was dead. 2 more were barely alive. And the one who could still speak smiled when asked by the researcher and said something no one in that room would ever forget. This is the Russian sleep experiment. And for years, millions of people online could not decide whether it was real. In the late 1940s, Soviet researchers allegedly sought to eliminate the biological need for rest. They believed they had synthesized an airborne stimulant capable of keeping soldiers awake indefinitely, granting an ultimate tactical advantage on the battlefield. They just needed to test it on human biology. Finding subjects in a post-war climate was effortless. The researchers selected 5 men, political prisoners deemed enemies of the state, placed them in a sealed chamber, and fed. The prisoners agreed to stay awake for 30 days to get their freedom. But this was just a lie. The observation room was deliberately minimal. Because closed circuit cameras had not yet been implemented, scientists relied on hidden microphones and 5-inch thick opaque glass portholes to monitor their captives. Inside, the chamber was stocked with cots devoid of bedding, a toilet, and running water. For the first 4 days, the atmosphere remained remarkably calm. The men traded stories, read books, and discussed their wartime traumas, functioning as anyone would under mild confinement. Then, the psychological decay commenced. silenced. On day 5, the subjects stopped speaking to one another. Instead, they turned their attention to the hidden microphones, whispering paranoid delusions about their fellow inmates, desperately trying to win the favor of the scientists listening on the other side. The observers documented this as a predictable side effect of extreme sleep deprivation. They watched, waiting for the paranoia to pass. It did not. By day 9, the tension snapped. One of the prisoners began sprinting back and forth across the chamber, shrieking at the top of his lungs for 3 continuous hours. He screamed until the sound devolved into a hollow mechanical squeak. He had completely shredded his own vocal cords. The other men did not panic. They did not attempt to restrain or help him. Instead, they quietly ripped pages from the provided literature, smeared them with their own excrement, and pasted them over the glass viewing windows. Then the screaming stopped, and the microphones went dead silent. For several days, not a single sound emerged from the chamber. The oxygen sensors indicated that all 5 men were still breathing, still alive, but the profound silence deeply unsettled the researchers. Breaking their own protocol on the 14th day, they activated the intercom system. They announced they were opening the doors to repair the microphones, threatening to shoot anyone who resisted, and offering immediate freedom for compliance. A single, chilling voice responded from the darkness. "We no longer want to be freed." At midnight on the 15th day, the scientists purged the stimulant gas from the room and replaced it with fresh air. Immediately, the prisoners began to wail, 3 separate voices begging for the chemical vapor to be turned back on. When armed soldiers finally stepped inside to retrieve the test subjects, they were met with a sight that defied all medical logic. Only 4 men were still alive. The food rations from day 5 onward remained entirely untouched. Instead, the prisoners had resorted to cannibalizing themselves. The men had systematically torn chunks of muscle and skin from their own bodies, exposing their ribs and lungs. Removed abdominal organs were arranged across the floor in a grotesque display. Their digestive tracts were still actively working, processing the raw flesh they had ripped from their own limbs. When the soldiers attempted an extraction, the emaciated men fought back with impossible, superhuman ferocity. One soldier had his throat ripped out by a subject's teeth. Another was fatally wounded when a subject completely severed an artery in his leg. Multiple military personnel lost their lives trying to subdue beings that should have already bled to death from catastrophic shock. 5 men sat.
Well, maybe that wasn't the first video. Maybe that was an add-on. I'm not sure. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. If you guys would, please like, subscribe, comment, share, you know, the usual. Other than that, see you.
The parasite that's causing explosive diarrhea is messing people.
Labeled with women's names. Laura broke free through a coal chute. Police searched his house. Inside the jars, they found hair. Worst was under the rose garden. Buried beneath the flowers were the missing women. Each body was missing every tooth. Laura's sister was among them. Chris P. Chicken was never found.